So today I'm going to talk about the Equal Pay for Equal Work Act that a lot of liberals and feminists are really excited about and are all gung-ho to pass. But I'm going to explain why that's going to be terrible for women. And it has to do with supply and demand and how employers perceive women's productivity in the workplace. Point one that I'm going to make is that employers perceive you as less productive in the workforce. Obviously, that's why you're getting paid less, but you're not unemployed less. You see, women in the workplace, if they were doing 100% the same work as men but for less money, the demand for them would be a lot higher than males, so their unemployment should be a lot lower. But that's not the case. I actually think women are slightly more unemployed than men are. So that proves that employers don't perceive you as being as productive. Whether you are or not, I'm not going to argue that because I don't have enough data to really talk about whether you're as productive or not. It's hard to quantify that. But employers perceive you as being less productive. That's why they're paying you less. Now, when the employers are forced to pay you the same as a male, when they still think you're less productive than the male, the demand for your work is going to be so low, it's going to be hard for you to find a job, but the unemployment for males is going to go down by a lot. That's common sense because they're just going to opt for the male every time if they think that they're going to get more work out of them. If you're a businessman who perceives women and men being completely equal, but you think you can pay the woman 20% less to do the same job as the male, it's just poor business sense to not hire the woman. That's just obvious. What kind of a smart businessman would pay more to get the same product? I don't think that's how businesses get to the top, by paying more for the same product that they could get for less money. Now, this is bad for women. This whole Equal Pay for Equal Work Act is going to drive your unemployment through the roof. And honestly, you're probably not going to get paid more. You know what an employer would do when they get forced to pay the two people the same amount of money? One's getting paid this, one's getting paid this. Why would an employer raise this one to make it equal when they could just lower this one and your pay's equal? So you women aren't going to get pay raises in a lot of places of employment. I'm sure some are going to give women raises. If you work in a place, your boss really likes you, your boss really does believe you're as productive as a male, and he says, yes, I think you do deserve a raise, that's great. But if you ever want to quit that job or you ever find yourself unemployed, frictional unemployment is going to be really hard for you to overcome because you're going to be in less demand. Because just on average, apparently, according to the supply and demand and unemployment rates, employers see you as being less productive in the workplace. Your root problem here is that employers see you as being less productive. You need to fix that. You women have been well on your way to fixing that over this past, since like 1920, you've been just climbing your way to the top, basically. Or climbing your way to the equality mark. And that's great, but you really need to convince employers that you're just as productive because when the government forces them to pay you more, you're going to be in less demand because they perceive you as less productive. That's just simple. Your unemployment's going to be way too high. So there's your solution, and this Equal Pay for Equal Work Act is going to bite you in the ass. And it's going to bite men in the ass because they're probably going to get pay cuts so that the pay is equal to women's. And the only benefit that's really going to come of this is men are actually going to be unemployed less. This is just going to equalize for men, but women are going to have less employment. It's going to be a total mess. The government's going to create a problem with this Equal Pay for Equal Work Act. Now they're going to say, oh, equal employment for equal work. They're going to bring more mandates in to fix the problems that this mandate brought with it. So it's just another move towards total government control. They love power. They love controlling the people. That's what attracts these politicians to their positions, is they get to control people, and it's natural for a person to want more power, so they need people dependent on the government. And for you to jump on the bandwagon with this Equal Pay for Equal Work Act is just way too convenient for them. They're going to be deciding who gets what jobs and for what amount of money, and then they're going to be deciding how much they already control your health care, but it's totally dangerous to get government this involved in everything, and you're just inching your way more and more towards a communist or welfare state or communism, police state's already here. We've got a health welfare state on the way. I mean, now we're always just inching our way towards less and less freedom, and this Equal Pay for Equal Work Act is going to bite you in the ass as well as sacrifice a lot of liberties in society. So you really should be cautious and try to think critically. Try to think this way about other programs that Barack Obama is bringing in, and the cause and the effect, and like what problems he's trying to solve are often problems caused by the last regulation that he passed. That's a whole nother subject, but proceed with caution with this. Try to think a little more critically, women. I know it feels good. It's a good feel-good law that makes you think, yeah, girl power, let's get the same amount of money for the same amount of work. Employers don't think you're doing the same amount of work. There's your problem. If you really want to progress women in the workplace, you need to focus on that. This government regulation shit is not going to fix your problem. It's just going to trade one problem for another. Just like everything government does, it trades one problem for another. There's a litany of this shit going on, and you need to just chill, because you can't undo government regulations, basically. You can always add them. They do it every day. There's 535 people sitting down day in, day out, making more laws. You know, we can't just have this go on forever like this. You need to start thinking a little more critically, because, I mean, there's just way too many laws already. So proceed with caution, think critically, don't be a dipshit and fall for his emotional appeals. For the love of God, it's just enraging to watch this State of the Union address and realize there are people out there eating this up, and they're just so gullible. If you're dumb, that's fine, but your votes drag me down with you, so please just proceed with caution. Thank you.